Hello there. Hi, it is Jillian Leslie, and I am host of the Blogger Genius podcast. I'm founder with my husband of the pop-up app called Milo Tree, and we are also founders of Catch My Party. So we know how to grow successful businesses, and I love having this community. So thank you for watching. If you are watching the replay, please let me know with the hashtag replay. So I hope you guys had a really nice Easter yesterday. It's a pretty day here in Austin today. And actually tomorrow I am going to travel for the first time, which is in over a year. I'm going to Charlotte to visit my mom and see my mom and give her a hug because we're both vaccinated. Hold on, wait. David, will you check to make sure this is going live in my Facebook group? So if you're watching this in my Facebook group, let me know, because last time I had a weird snafu where it wasn't going live in there. So hopefully. Oh yeah, am I?
Yes.
Oh good. David says I'm live in Become a Blogger Genius. So welcome everybody to my live. And what I wanted to talk about today was my most recent podcast with this really cool woman named Shelby Fowler. And she had like crazy pink hair. And what's fun is we record the episodes on Zoom. So as soon as she showed up and I saw her pink hair, we had to have a very long discussion on what it takes to have pink hair and how often she has to recolor it. And oh, good. Yes, Facebook group. Thank you for somebody who has responded. Anyway, it was super awesome because I love hearing about people who will spend the time and the energy to like do things like have awesome nails or awesome hair or awesome eyelashes. Like I want in my next life, I'm going to do all of that. Anyway, so she was super cool. And what she does is she runs Facebook and Instagram ads for people. And the thing that I do know about running ads is they change, they stay the same in certain ways. The fundamentals stay the same, but the kind of what's working now changes all the time. So it was really fun to be able to like take her temperature, find out, okay, this is where you should be focusing. So the big question as bloggers is, should I ever run ads? And what I'm going to tell you is if you are a traditional blogger who makes money predominantly via traffic, right? So you're monetizing via ads on your blog. It never makes sense to run ads to your blog, to a blog post, to then monetize via ads, because it takes you maybe 1,000 people to see that blog post to make $1. And you better believe you will always be spending more in ads than you will ever make in ads. So just think about that. Always know that. Now, what if you work with a sponsor and they're paying you $500 to write a blog post and do an Instagram post and on Facebook and stuff? Would you want to boost that post? Not boost it, because we're going to talk about that, but would you want to put some ad dollars behind that? I would say yes, because you want to be able to go back to that brand and go, guys, look how well this post, how well this posted, both in terms of traffic, in terms of engagement on social media. Brands care so much about Instagram. So in that situation, it's probably worth taking $50 of the $500 you're making and putting it towards ads yourself. But does this mean boost it? And every time I ask an ads expert if you should just boost a post like on Facebook or something, the answer is categorically no. Therefore, do some research on what the easiest way is to run an ad using Ads Manager or Business Manager, whatever it is called now on Facebook, which will also be able, you can also then use that same dashboard to run ads on Instagram. In fact, that's the only way you can run ads on Instagram, because remember, Instagram's owned by Facebook. So it's really in that Facebook dashboard that you would set up all your ads. And you can set up some very simple ads. but don't boost it as a boosted post because it's kind of like throwing money away. But that is a scenario. A sponsored post is a scenario as a blogger to run some ads for a limited amount of time, but just to show the brand that A, you're in it, you've got skin in the game because you've put money behind this post, and to make your numbers look good because that's what they care about. Okay, now this is the thing. I teach all the time, and if you listen to my Facebook Lives, you know this. Bloggers need to sell stuff, right? It's like it is the most successful bloggers that we work with, that we get to see really intimately, are selling things because traffic is hard to come by, and growing traffic to the number which you need to get it to make, I always say, to make money to like buy a second home is not going to come from traffic alone. It's a nice passive income stream. It's awesome to have it. But that's not the way you're going to kind of like shift your life. What is going to shift your life is figuring out how to sell to your cultivated audience, your audience that you understand, your audience that trusts you, all of that. So my next thought for you is, before thinking about running ads, think about what you can sell to your audience. And we talk about this a lot, and this gets really overwhelming. We talk about this a lot in our coaching groups, and people go, I don't know what to sell. And how to think about that is, what are your best blog posts? Where are people interacting with you? What are they talking about? What are the questions that they are having? Or you go into and so then you go, well, my audience doesn't talk to me. That's fine. Go into Facebook groups in your niche and see what are their questions? What are the themes that you're seeing show up again and again? And can you create a solution? Simple at the beginning, simple solution. Maybe it's a 1-hour webinar or something you put together. Maybe it's a download, a printable, a guide, anything like that. And I would start with, what's the free version of this that I can create down and dirty in Canva? That's one page, that's a checklist, and see if people will opt into your email list for this. And then, is there a way, it's like this, it's like steps. So I've got my opt-in, and what you want to do is you want to get success at each step. So I got my opt-in and it's working. Great. And I put pins up on Pinterest, and I'm promoting it on my blog, and I'm promoting it on Facebook, and people are signing up because I'm offering this solution. Awesome. Can I take this freebie and can I build it out into like an ebook or something that's $9.99? And then can I build it out into, say, like a course or a membership or something? So be thinking about it as a step ladder, all with one solution to a very specific problem that can have multiple, that just can get deeper and deeper in terms of what you can sell. So here's the thing. The way that ads work is, if you have something already working in your business, that's when you want to put money behind it. You don't, and people have said this to me over and over again, and I completely believe this. Facebook ads and Instagram ads will not fix a broken funnel. They will not fix an opt-in that nobody has opted into when you're just promoting it organically. It is hard to find those things. That's the thing. People think, well, if I could just run ads, like this would be successful. And I'd say, no, the hard work, the hardest part is making that connection, finding that what's called product market fit. My opt-in is solving a solution that people are looking for, and they're going to give me their email address for that solution. That is working. My audience is paying me $9.99 for an ebook that solves a certain problem. That is, and they're paying, not that necessarily you're getting like a ton of sales, but if it's already working, ads are like rocket fuel. But if and it has to be that the rocket is like built really well and is ready to launch. If it launches on its own and can fly 20 feet in the air, if I put ads behind it, maybe it could fly 200 feet or 2,000 feet. That's, I think, the wish is that anything will work if I just put money behind it. And that's not true. The only things that will work are things that are already working. So it's like backing up a bunch of steps and going, what is my audience struggling with? How do I figure out what their, a solution to something? And it, by the way, this is hard thinking. Like, this isn't easy. This isn't something, wow, I just gonna, come up with this in a weekend. But what I recommend is put it in the back of your brain so that you can be mulling over this and I call it like you're percolating on it. But you are not just kind of putting it there and saying, oh yeah, I'll solve this at some point. You're actually putting some energy there. Like every day you give yourself 5 minutes to think about it I do my best brainstorming in the shower. So I'm in the shower and that's where I start. All of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, this is connecting. I'm starting to see how it all fits together. That's what you want. But then the next hardest piece is actually doing it, getting into Canva, building a crappy opt-in, figuring out how to upload the opt-in to your email subscriber so that you can then offer it, and then doing the offering on social media. I want you to know that I recognize how much work each step of this journey takes, but it is so worth it. So if you are spending your time just churning out blog posts, I'd love you to take a week off from churning out blog posts and just republish some old piece of content. Don't even update it. Just republish the date, update it, post it, because nobody's looking at me and going, wait, Jillian didn't post. It's Monday. She always posts on Mondays. It's like, I'm going to just republish and nobody's going to know. And I'm going to do that so I can take the time and get the bandwidth where I can start to solve these little pieces and put them together and test them. And then this is something that I tell my coaching group all the time. Ready for it? And this sucks, but it is true. Assume it's not going to work. And if you can go in with that assumption, when it doesn't work, you will be totally disappointed and demoralized, yet you won't think to yourself, there's something wrong with me, or this whole thing is stupid and I'm a loser for even attempting this. This is the nature of the business we are in. Finding product market fit is difficult. And the way you do it by putting something out there, especially if it's your first shot at this, chances are it won't work, but you'll learn and get feedback and ask your audience and try something else. Like try moving a tiny bit to the left or a tiny bit to the right and try again. And over time, it's like dating. It's like you've got to kiss a lot of frogs. And if you're only kissing one frog and it's a disaster, and you never go back and do it again, guess what? You're never going to find that person. And so you've got to keep at it. And I know that it's easy to say. It's easy for me to tell you this and go, trust me, guys, it won't work. And that's okay. But what happens to me, I'm demoralized. However, I do have that part of my brain probably up here in the front, like the kind of smart part right here that says, no, this is normal. You're going to try it again. And that is what you want to try so that something starts working. And when it does, celebrate because you've struck gold. That's always my analogy. Like you're going out into the hills and you're mining for gold. And when you strike gold, you take that very seriously. And instead, sometimes people go, oh, yeah, whatever. And then they kind of go to another mountaintop. And I go, no, stay at that mountaintop and just keep digging around what's working. Just build off of what's working because that's how you find more success. That's how, don't get bored and go, okay, whatever. Yeah, I'm getting a little success here. So I'll go a mile this way. No, stay close and keep learning and keep digging and digging and digging. Okay. So let's talk about then ads, because this was a whole prelude to getting you to the point of saying, oh, I've got something working in my business. I want to pour some rocket fuel on that. How do I explode it? And remember this, if you are paying for ads, but you are paying less than you are making in profit from those ads, you want to put infinite money on those ads. Like somebody said this to me, like, oh, my ads are working, but I'm going to turn them off in a little bit. And I go, why would you ever turn them off? Why wouldn't you double down on that? If I can invest $100 and make $300, I should be putting $10,000 in and make $30,000. But the thing about ads is what is working right now will change, meaning right now it's spring. And maybe ad rates, I don't know this, but like I know ad rates go up around Christmas time. So it's like the world is changing around us. Ads and what people are interested in is changing. So therefore, it's not like you can then set this up, it's working and forget it. I wish that were the case, but it's always changing. So you're always going to be in there kind of tweaking your ads, or things are going to work and then they're not going to work. However, if you know that you can put $100 in and make $300, put in more and see what happens to the point at which it's no longer going in your favor. Okay, so just know these are like the basics. The other basic is it does take money to test and see what is working, but after 3 days or 5 days of testing an ad and it's not working, it chances are won't work. And then you can start to fine tune them. So don't think you have to run them for a month, lose a bunch of money before you start to see returns. It doesn't quite work that way. Okay, what is working today? According to Shelby, video ads are working today. And I think this is this trend that I am seeing where I sit and that you might be seeing where you sit, and just in your own life, see if this resonates. We've been in this time of isolation, and even if I see you in person, I'm going to wear a mask and you're going to wear a mask, and I can't fully connect with you. Therefore, showing up authentically, warts and all, is where it is at. It is no longer just these beautiful Instagram feeds that are totally unrealistic. It is my kid running in the middle of this and me going, okay, no, maybe another 10 minutes. Like that is what people are craving. We are craving that feeling of connection and authenticity. And according to Shelby, that's what's working in ads. Video where you can see my face. You're not just hearing my voice. You see my face and you go, do I trust her? Does she seem like she knows what she's talking about? Would I be her friend? That is really like, and you kind of know, like, watching this, if you've made it 17 minutes, then you're going like, oh, this is cool. Maybe I'll watch a little bit longer, whatever. But you have that gut. And if this was just a written post, it's so much more impactful if it's video. So be thinking about this. And again, the great thing about it is people want you to show up raw. And so it doesn't have to you don't have to have like a crew come in and shoot your video ads. You got your phone and you're just going to hold it up and you're going to shoot it and like call it a day and then test it. So the thing that Shelby says is do like 1 or 2 ads, but then test them with different audiences. So you're going to create in Facebook and Instagram like a custom audience. And this is the power. We talk about this. This is what makes Facebook also kind of creepy and powerful. So as a user of Facebook, it's creepy, but as an advertiser, it gets really powerful. I can target certain audiences. And the weird part is, and I think I say this in the podcast episode, and I didn't even put a link to the podcast episode. So let me do that right here. This is the episode I'm talking about. I'm a mom living in Austin, and like I shop at Target. And I have a teenage daughter, and there are lots of women who are like me, who live in a town like mine, who shop at Target, and who even though I think I'm so unique, the truth is I'm not. And that if another mom likes something, like Facebook can kind of go, that other person bought this product, and Jillian is kind of similar. So, for example, we've been buying furniture. We moved here. We've been still buying furniture for our house. And Facebook knows that I'm looking at furniture. So all of a sudden, Facebook's showing me all these ads for furniture. And I click on them because it figured that out. And chances are there's another woman who has my same demographics who bought some sort of couch. And Facebook's going to show me that couch thinking, they're kind of more similar than you think. And even though I want to be unique and think nobody has my taste, The truth is, Facebook can figure that out. That's the power. But there are different audiences. So you could set up an audience of women in Austin, or you could set up an audience of bloggers in the United States, or whatever. Or here's one too. I can upload my email list and target those people who've been to my website but haven't bought Milo Tree, let's say. And that's kind of creepy, but kind of interesting and powerful. And the other thing, this is the weirdest part, is speaking about like how Facebook can find women like me. I can upload my email list. Facebook can see who are those people who've bought my product. I can upload the list of purchasers, right? My customers. Facebook could go, okay, we understand these customers. We're going to show this to people who don't know Milo Tree, but who are similar demographically or psychographically, and show the ads, and hopefully those people will be similar enough to buy. And that's called a lookalike audience. So Shelby says, test out different audiences with the same video, the same ad, same what's called creative, and see where you're starting to get traction. So you're always learning, very much like I gave that whole example in the beginning. If you're going to test stuff and see if people respond, same thing with ads. What are the ads that people are clicking on? How much is it costing me per click? Those kinds of things. So be very mindful of that. All right. Let's see what else. Okay. The other thing I asked Shelby, what is the best kind of opt-in? Because you can run ads then. If you know people are liking your opt-in organically, you can then run ads to your opt-in to get email subscribers. And you have to figure out like how much is an email subscriber worth to you? If you are not selling anything, but you've got more people on your list, that's more money out the door for you. One, you're paying for email subscribers, but you're not monetizing that audience. Again, this speaks to this thing that I keep saying is do find stuff that you can sell. Like maybe make the month of, what are we, April? Like spring is your time to really like dial in, like what can I sell and how can I sell it and how can I test it? Because these things take time to set up. But she said, easy opt-ins, a one page. This is what I was saying, a one page in Canva. Like, do not think you need to create an ebook. And the truth is, how many times have you like downloaded a freebie from somebody? It's too long and you never open it. I, by the way, will even download a checklist and never open it. Just be thinking about what you do in your own life so that you can go, oh, I know, even though I think my ebook is going to be awesome and you're going to read every word of it, chances are you're not. Therefore, I'm not going to give you an ebook. I'm going to give you a cheat sheet. And would I open this and use it? Even because I'm so busy and distracted in my own life. Okay. So then the question is, well, like how much money are you going to spend in your ads? You can be running ads for like $5 a day. That is totally doable. The thing about that is your ad's not going to be shown to as many people. So it takes longer to learn if it's working versus say spending $20 a day. But you've got to figure that out for yourself. But know there is a trade-off in terms of learning and in terms of speed of conversions. That's why when people go, it's just $5 a day, you go, yeah, but it's going to take me 3 months of running $5 a day for me to get any idea of what's actually happening. So just be thinking about that. The other thing that Shelby said that I thought was interesting is she thinks video ads showing up in people's timelines on Instagram and Facebook are where it's at right now. And she also thinks story ads. So then the question is, could I run this myself? Could I set up ads myself? And this is where the answer is a little nuanced. Of course you can. Can you watch videos on Instagram to figure out how to set up ads? Absolutely. Couple things though. Ads are changing all the time. So if you watched an ad from a year ago, you could figure out how to put like your Facebook pixel on your site. But in terms of what is working right now, that's a harder thing. Like you want the most cutting edge information. So just be mindful of looking for people who are running ads right now, and that it's really what's happening in April of 2021. Like that's what you want to be looking for. And the other thing is it does take some time, meaning you can't really set up ads and like set and forget them. I wish you could. Remember, this is that idea of like, oh, if it's working, why wouldn't I just leave it and not check it? But because things are changing and people are changing, in the United States, for example, we are hopefully vaccinating our way out of the pandemic, and that our summer might look very different than it did a year ago, but it might look very different than it does in other parts of the world. Those things have an impact on ads, because if all of a sudden, like, you're in the travel space, who knows what's going to happen to travel ads? Are people going to be traveling more? Are all these hotels and airlines and who knows going to fight for those ads, and ads are going to be more expensive? You have no idea. It is a dynamic system. Keep that in mind. But it is possible to run your own ads, but you've got to then spend time learning how to do that. Again, it's not insane amounts of time. I would say the more what you need to do is be on top of them so that you're not just running them and setting and forgetting. You've got to be managing them. If you hire somebody to manage them, you have to trust this person and trust their track record, because we've worked with some ad people that have worked for us and others that haven't. And no matter how wonderful they are, it's like lightning in a bottle. So therefore, be mindful of not, and here's the other thing. If you hire somebody to run your ads, do not think that you also don't need to be looking at what's happening. Just because you have farmed this out to somebody, you know your business better than anybody. So just know that you are also going to have to spend a part of your time being, your real money's going out the window or out the door. So just know that it's not like I don't have to think about this. You still need to be thinking about it and watching it. Okay. So I think, and so story ads also doing well right now. Be curious to see in 6 months if that is still the thing. So, okay, I think I have gone through. Here's my list of notes that I took from the interview that I wanted to make sure I covered for you. If you guys have any questions about ads and running them and whether you think something should work, could work, whatever it is, please reach out to me. I love hearing from you. And I did a post in the Facebook group about what kind of opt-ins have people made that they've had success with. So go back and read those as well. And that's really, those are the main things I wanted to share. So I'm going away tomorrow. I'm really excited about it. I'm not scared. I can't wait to hug my mom. I feel like we planned this couple months ago, and I can't believe it's really here. And I'm hoping that this isn't just a blip where I can travel right now and then all of a sudden things are going to get bad in a couple weeks. So who knows? It's really just about seizing the day, seizing the moment. And I'm super excited about that. And coming up on Wednesday is a new episode. My episodes drop on Wednesday. And I don't know if you've been listening, but I love the word drop. Somehow it makes me feel very real, But anyway, my next episode is dropping on Wednesday, and it is all about very much similar stuff, which is email marketing and how to really build an audience and how to, what should you write to your list? We're going to get into that next week. And I think you're going to really like it. It's with a woman named Liz Wilcox, and she's a riot and she's really fun, and get on her list. So, this is always my secret. If there's an email expert that, calls themselves an expert, get on their list so you can see what they're doing. So you can go, do I think this person is really an expert? Is this person really sharing great information with me that I can then borrow and use in my own email strategy? So I'm on so many email experts lists to really see how they're doing it. And I really like what Liz is doing. Also, if you are listening to the podcast and you like it, please go to iTunes and review it. I would be so grateful. I'm going to start reading the reviews in my future episodes. I'd love to give you a shout out and to really thank you personally. So please, that's just one ask. Just go to iTunes on your phone and scroll down to where the reviews are. And if you give it 5 stars and you write something, that would be awesome, because then more people get to find it. And I get to have even more amazing guests. So I would love it if you did that. And I will thank you personally. All right. Have a great rest of your week. I'm not going to be coming on Facebook Lives this week, I don't think, because I'm going to be with my mom in Charlotte. But I wish you a wonderful week, and please reach out with any questions or comments that you have. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.